My name is Adam Porzak with Porzak Golf, taking your game to the next level and beyond. Today we have a wonderful, wonderful player, Xander Grant, young guy, lots of talent. We're going over the complete game with him. We're giving him a practice plan. We're talking about keeping the golf club in front of him in his takeaway and throughout his backswing. And we're also getting him on the putting green and talking about rhythm. Pay attention closely. This guy's a great golfer and one definitely to look out for. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and please enjoy the video.
Like kind of the miss, still like a little right.
All right.
You know, just kind of like the weak right, like 10 yards. Like kind of that.
Mm-hmm. It's nice he can do that on command, though.
Not bad, but like.
Yeah. So whatever you did there, don't do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that. Okay, well, it's not bad. It's just like 12 feet, 13 feet right of the hole. And then, yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come over here. We're talking about Cam. Might as well put Cam up next to you just so we can get a little side by side here. Here's the big thing. Club in front of hands, and when the club sets, the golf club's always riding up that trail forearm so that you see it pointed towards the inside edge of the golf. You guys know me. I'm real big on anywhere in this triangle right here is really, we call it the golden triangle. It's where you can have the club pointed in front of you. Now, what's the significance of that? Hold this, Xander. The ball's where that wood chip is right there. And I'm here. And the butt of the club's pointed above the ball. If I turn, the golf club's just behind my body, right? So if I go through with no manipulation, what's happening? Just a little weak right. If I set the club, and that club's going up my forearm, down to the inside of the ball, well, I turn, that golf club's right in front of my body, right? So that's step one. Like for me, one thing that my mentor made very clear to me at a young age was, hey, I never want to see that golf club setting ever above the golf ball. I never want to see it get underneath your forearm. Okay, so let's look back at that video here. It just gets a little bit low when it's straight back, so it feels to you like you're controlling it nicely, but it just isn't up enough, right? We'll talk about what does that. See the club, how it just gets under that forearm?
Yeah.
Just above the ball, just under the forearm. So here's the thing. When that happens, the golf club is just behind the hands a little bit. And you can see up at the top, it's not bad, but watch the difference. Watch the difference here. Very important to watch the difference between you and Cam at the top of the swing. See that difference right there? See how his was turned up there with a much more square face. Yeah. But more importantly, you can see the club. I always want to make sure that club is a little right of that forearm. When you start seeing it get a little bit on that line, and left of it, and the face gets open, well, all that means is that club that was behind the hands here just went up and it was still behind the hands. Whereas when it's right in front of you, you can then turn to the top with connection and it's right in front of you. So there's nothing that needs to be done coming down to manipulate it. And you can see it's not bad, but watch. It just gets a little underneath right here. And you can see coming into the golf ball, just a little in to out, right? Okay, now watch. Where's Cam? With that club being right in front of him, crawls right down that forearm and gets more on top of the ball. And that's where the ball's gonna just be more on line, more stable club face because the club doesn't, let's get a close up of this. This is pretty cool to see. This is the big thing here. You don't want this into the ball, right? When you're right there. Club gets low to the ground and it's just on the inside path. You want to see that thing tracking down that right forearm and getting more on top of the ball there so it hits down straight and then really controls the club face. Obviously, you know what happens if we're in here. We're required to do a little bit of that, versus being here. Where now just rotation hits that ball straight, right? So really important for you when we start out here. You don't have to make this a really manipulated motion, meaning we don't need to do anything crazy here. We're just talking about your golf club was dead straight back, but it's just low in your hands, right? We need to have it set a little bit more. So what does that is that leverage there, right? If we take the club back and apply a little bit of pressure down, this feeling is very simple that you can do in sync with your body, and look what happens. The club sets and gets on top of the hands and goes up that trail forearm. Well, now we're in a position to where the angle of attack is set where we need it, and the club face will be more stable as a result of being able to not have to flip it because the club's not inside out. So when you get in here now, you can use the seam on the mat, you can use an alignment rod at your feet. There's so many ways we can do this. I mean, you know, it's like there's which way is best for you, right? We can do, there's this one here, which is a fun one, where you just go, okay, match the angle of the shaft. Good. Put this right here, just when you're practicing. This is a good one at home. Put the club head right on here and just feel. What would you feel? Right? Yeah, so just right there. Now, the easy one that I've always done, but sometimes people have a hard time seeing it right away, is I put it down the line of my feet, an extension of my feet, and I just make sure that the golf club is parallel to when it's parallel to the ground, it's at hand level. If anything, a little above that. You know, when you guys look at like Brian's swing, Starkey has, you know, he's more like this. He'll set it real up right here, just because then you can shallow it on the way down. This is the one you don't want right here, because we already know our tendency to get a little underneath. And what does it force you to do? It forces you to actually either flip or be steep in order to get it back on plane. And then the steep causes the two-way miss, right? So we don't want that. I just think for you, get in there and get back to just finding something that gets the golf club at this point right here. Your hands are under this line and the club's above it. Exactly. So it's finding that. Hands under, club above it. More up with the club, right there. Do it again. A little more wrist, right hand. There you go. Go ahead and do it again. Watch us, ready? There we go. Feel that? Yeah. Take your right hand off of it. Part of the problem was for so long, remember how weak that grip used to be? Yeah. That's when you don't get any leverage there, right? And that grip, you and Tyler Kowak both used to have to deal with this. Always that weaker left hand, and that's natural. Like kind of inside in that look. Okay, well, that's what's important about getting this hand on there correctly and getting this leverage, having it under the heel pad. Ready? We saw Harris English doing this in the first tournament of the year, right? I made a big point of putting that up so a lot of my students can see. Gosh, he's doing it so simply, right? Hands behind the back, just boom. That's what you need to feel, Xander. But if the grip is like this, it makes it hard to really get that angle. So, you know, Dad and I are watching you kind of pick it up like this in the position where it's keep the hands low and just get a little bit of push down on that handle that pops that club right into position. See it. There you go. When you do that, go ahead and do it again. When he does this, he's maintained the width between his hands and his body, connection between his hands and his body, and you can see that his left arm didn't cross his chest. What I mean by that is this. There's no picking up and crossing the center of the body. It's when you push away and keep it low, kind of like we talked about that Pete Cowan video. I made a point of talking about the beach ball under the water. It's a great thought because, look, it just keeps everything low and away from you, and that right there keeps that width and keeps the connection. And more importantly, when you have the right grip and the right angle between the arm and the golf club, well, now you can use that leverage to create the angle. Now when you have that angle and the connection, you can rotate and there's your power, right? And we're just trying to get this angle set, you guys. Trying to simplify the motion to get this angle set in a position that you just turn around your left side, obviously, and it's going to go dead straight, right? That's our goal. So let's make it simple. Let's see if we can find a way to get that club up in front of your hands a little better. I want to see within the next 5 minutes that club on top of the forearms. I guarantee you we're going to be hitting the ball better. So what's fun is, you guys, this is not going to air today. It's going to air a little down the road, maybe a week or two. Today's the Super Bowl. Here's the great thing. We got a huge Tampa Bay fan back here. It's a real thing. He's really into it. I know what you're going to say, but who's going to win today? Is it going to be Tampa? It's going to be Tampa.
It's going to be a really good game.
Okay. Is he, again, because
It's going to be Tom Brady magic at the end.
I love this because we've been asking the last couple of days. We're asking everybody. Some people are going to be right and some people are going to be wrong. We're going to know this by the end of this, by the time this is done. So, what do you think, bud? What is your heart?
Long ride home, dude.
It's a long ride home.
You can't really go against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, but then also it is Patrick Mahomes. But,
I know, man. That's the only thing.
I mean,
It's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be a really good game. We had to get that on the record though, because we just want to know someone's going to be right. I can honestly say probably the first time I'm actually really rooting for the guy. All right, go back behind me, buddy. Great drills for this. We know what we need to do. We have the lessons already in front of you. What are we going to do it, right? We have the alignment rod back here that can force it. We have this one to help guide us. But here's the thing. One of the best things we can do is really get to the problem area and turn and hit, right? So get there, set it, set, go. One of the best drills of all time. I like that left hand kind of pushing down the way. There it is, dude. That's money right there. Let's see if we can make a huge difference right away here today. It's definitely why yeah. Absolutely. Do a better job of turning it all the way to the top, okay? Like, don't just lift the arms to the top. Turn that body up there. So less body in the beginning. Just set the wrists and use your upper body. Good, now turn. Good. That was really good right there. Did you feel that? That was like perfect. Yeah, look at this. Check us out, you guys. This is pretty cool. So you can see, like, look at the difference with the club. See how different that is?
Yep.
Like, I always prefer to see it just in front of the hand, especially when you're doing the drill. Look at up the forearm. Watch, better turn. See how it doesn't get laid off?
Yep.
It's left, but it's just short. It's just shorter. That's why it's left, right? So, but then the club comes down, and see that right there? Never dropped under the plane. See how it's crawling down that forearm now?
Yep.
Not dropping underneath it. Why? It was all in the setup. Man, that was pretty. Look at that. How different was that actually than what we saw right away? That club was still out there before and kind of saving it this way as opposed to now being down that forearm and right around. And then you can see the stable club face with no reason to have to flip the club. Boom. Wow, dude. I mean, that was pretty much perfect right there. Just keep working it. No, hey, real quick though, this is big. After this, I don't want to see you get, I'm just preventing it from happening, too deep behind you. Meaning, if you keep the width between the center of the body and your hands are going in the direction your body's turning, it should be on that shoulder plane and out here, right? Not, don't let it get underneath and don't let it get back this way and then up, right? It's out in front of you. You're just keeping this out in front of you and then up the plane, right? Let's see it. How'd it feel?
feels good. It already feels like the contact's better.
Sounds different even.
Does sound different, doesn't it? Club's working down a little better angle. Take it off real quick. I just want to see this. Wow. That is a flow, dude. Wait, hold on, shake it out real quick. I need to see that real quick. Dang, dude.
The way his mother's a hairdresser.
Yeah, his mother's, yeah, and a darn good one too. Man, Xander's has like a no touch my hair policy. That's some serious flow. Good. Well, here we go. Go ahead and set it so it'll be kind of straight back down that line, and it'll be more up this line right here. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, 'cause before it looked like it was
You see him saying more stretch around, more baseball kind of back there? I just want to see him get that club right up in front of him. No, I mean, guys, here's a simple visual, right? When you're in the mirror at home, very simple visual. You know, so here's my spine, right? Here's my shoulder plane. My shoulders want to turn right into that plane, right? Well, when I set the club, I'm imagining I'm setting it on that plane, and then when I turn, my hands and the club go up that plane, right? So it's just a visual that always is, right, not here and then kind of, you know, around that way. It's here and just right up that plane. Spent so much time just going like this, keeping the center of my body and hands, looking at one another as I do this. And just
Pretty darn straight.
I hope you all enjoyed our video with Xander. He's a wonderful young talent and definitely one to look out for in the future. Please click the link below and pick up 3 free videos. Also leave any questions or comments you have. Thank you.